Let's explain religious people that perceive themselves as religious to themselves. And you got to understand, you guys are hundreds of thousands of years in making. This is why scientists see God as an invention of the alter ego of a human being. Now, in modern eras, we have a thing in the United States that's called the Patriot Act, right? Which gives the government and the corporate entity of the government, which is every social media, every this, they all have to follow Supreme Court, Pentagon, Congress, executive branch guidelines, right? It's all for the corporate interest of the number two. It's all, Dr. Evil doesn't understand, it's all corporations, right? And all corporate linguistics accepted by the group as, he signed you, Bill, now you're a law, right? And when I went to Sierra Vista and they all exposed themselves to me, you're the guy from the Bible, the religious guy who gave all these mooks this alter ego and this, their schizophrenia. It's like, I'm the guy that gave them schizophrenia. Are you sure it's not you? Because you have them sign contracts that you invented, that there are laws, and you invade them and abuse them with money if they don't obey your laws you invented, and give them the money, which is value, that you also invented. So you're saying that me and Jesus and Adam and Moses and John and Muhammad and all that all invented schizophrenia, but we're in our houses trying to be good people, and you're invading our houses with technology and money trying to make sure that we're not good people and we're just like you, right? So don't you think you guys would be more accredited with the evolution of schizophrenia and psychotic sociopathic behaviors than someone like myself and good old Jesus and Muhammad and Daniel and David and Hood and all them fellers like that there? Mordecai and Esther and so forth and so on, so on and so forth. Don't you guys think you get more credit for schizophrenia and psychotic sociopathic behaviors? Paranoid schizophrenia. Don't you think that goes a little bit more in the Elon Musk set than the Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. set, since I don't invent things to have a virtual presence in people's houses to make sure they're not taking all my money and trying to steal my technology that keeps all my money? I mean, Fashnugana! I explained that to my family right when I got back. I explained it to Tina before they kidnapped the kids. I explained it to everybody. I was like, you guys do know that David Rockefeller, okay. And you guys think that I'm a psychopath. Okay, but when the Long Island Medium does it, wackadoodles go to her, and okay. But Jesus talks to you and says, read the Bible and obey the commandments of the Constitution and sign the laws and have a virtual presence in your house so your money can keep your family safe from Chinese and Japanese money. Okay. But Jesus said, forgive debt and trespass, love all, eternal, faithful peace. Where does that say anything about believe the Constitution of the men that owned their wives and children as property, and then owned people as property, and that there are more black Jeffersons, Washingtons, Monroes, and Adamses than there are whites? That means they had more property that they had sex with during being the founding fathers than they did with their own wives. How many Adams, Washingtons, and Jeffersons, and Monroes do you see playing professional basketball and or football or whatever and stuff like that? You see lots of Jimmy the Greek got fired for telling the truth on the television, but you don't see a lot of white folks because maybe they just ain't very good athletes. Maybe there are Washingtons, Jeffersons, Monroes, and Adams, but they're all on the Board of Regents at the Ivy League schools. Kiss us, maybe so. I never thought about that. You don't see them? That's because they're elitist and you don't get invited to the White House. Oh, Snapdragon Dragon Stadium. Wow, I did not know. So where are all the descendants of George and Tom and John and Quincy? Okay. A lot of them are playing football and basketball on the TV, right? But that was their property and not their family. Oh, Sally Hemings me this and Dred Scott me that, right? It's an American nightmare. We call it a dream. Manifest destiny, right? Like the people that went to settle Texas, They knew they were going to get this hostile land grab, because they knew about the Freemasons and the manifest destiny there. But old Santana, Santa Anna wasn't in, De Cuero Plebero, he roared. To the fountain days of glory on the siege of Alamo. Guys, mass murder over writing that you own the land on a piece of paper and you declare people your property in indentured servitude because the 14th Amendment never freed nobody. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, because the soul is the glory of God and not the flesh. Let the dead bury the dead. Hi, I'm Bob Marley, understanding Haile Selassie better than you can understand Haile Selassie. And I'm certain that John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy understood Haile Selassie better than you're capable of understanding Haile Selassie from the CIA book he left. He didn't leave it, they did. Right? And they're still here. But Haile Selassie is a god on the Kimmel show for the Marleys and their, and Rockefeller laughs all the way to the bank. They'll sit and pray to their alter ego. They won't believe in you. They won't acknowledge your existence. They're afraid to acknowledge your existence because they're afraid of being physically killed. Anybody want to go to the Roman Colosseum and see all the cats? Apparently they cleaned all the cats out. Since Mr. Scroggs went there when we were young, and me and Michelle Pettis were sophomores at Mayfield High School in social studies. There you go. So being intelligent is an all-day job. It's an all-day fucking job. I'm the most exhausted. I'm the hardest working man to end show business. You're welcome, Max and Emmy Muniz. I love your mom and dad too. I love everybody. I love other people's kids as much as I love my own kids. I'm an absolute success as a human being, but a failure as a philanthropist. And I'm all right with that. Okay? I am totally all right with that. I am totally all right with being a better father to Willow, Jaden, and Trey than their philanthropist sperm donor. Cha-ching! Got it done. Get her done. Got her dead. Got her dead. I am totally okay with being a better father to Barron and Ivanka and Don Jr. than their philanthropist sperm donor. Cha-ching! Get her done. Got her dead. 13th, 22nd Redeemer. Do you guys believe the prophecy in the Quran better now? How about the Spirit of John that retrieves the keys to the kingdom so we can live the kingdom of heaven here on earth of the real lives of Mormon wives? Huh? Bueller? Anyone? Shauna? Principal Rooney? He better be. I would sure like to live a better life than what happened to me with Pete Townsend's computer. I knew I shouldn't have borrowed his computer. That's just a joke. It's a funny one. If you're on the Kimmel show and you get John Daly and say, I should thank them for all their money. No. Stand up for a Lord's Prayer or help the Mexican George Clooney that's a nurse to a neurosurgeon save himself from torturing people's bodies because we're still economic genocidal warfare maniacs. I am way more intelligent than the characters portrayed on The Big Bang Theory. I can sit down and go, I've been able to do this since I was a kid. You sit me down with people when they're doing stuff, and I sit there and go, if they were right, I'd agree, but it's them they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I'm changing my name to Yusuf Islam because I no longer want to be known as Cat Stevens because I'm being followed by a moon shadow. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth north and south. Yes, if I ever lose my mouth, I won't be able to write songs to make people believe in fantasy. And I won't be the American's best-selling offer to corner Wall Street with Martha Stewart. I mean, what? They're crazy. And it's hard to sit there and go, why are they still so fucking crazy? What the hell's wrong with them? I have explained this to them more than a Paul Simon song over and over and over again. Lie, lie, lie. It's like, damn, guys. Aren't you ashamed of what you're doing? Yes, that's why I need Jesus to pay for my sins, because I'm not worthy of living in the kingdom of heaven. Because you're afraid of getting caught in your lie, but you've already been caught in your lie ever since the Patriot Act showed up at your doorstep. Mona Lisa, men have named you, right? Many dreams have been brought to your doorstep, but they lie there and they die there. You know? And everybody thinks I'm this scam artist. It's like, why am I a scam artist? Because I want everybody to apply the physics of the Lord's Prayer. Wouldn't you say that Neil deGrasse Tyson is more of a scam artist than me? Here's what aliens would be like if they showed up using my imagination, because I think I'm more intelligent than you, manipulating people with my imagination for money through a thing I call science. Yeah, that's William Shatner. He's beamed Nichelle Nichols twice. He brags about it all the time. I wouldn't brag about it, but I would probably sit down and smile about it sometimes. But yeah, I've had my own. Oh, yeah. Oh, Amy asked me all the time, what was that? Well, I go, and then she relives it and feels it because I have this brain that, yeah. So she's very attracted to Raquel Sally when Raquel was 16. So was I. Okay, so was I. And then they're all, she's a pervert. It's like, no, she just, okay, guys, I'm going to remind you this one more time. David Rockefeller's virtual presence in my life since before I was born. Gordon B. Hinckley's jealous of you. You turned down more sex in junior high than he got offered his whole life. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. She gets mad at me. She's like, why didn't you have sex with her? Because of this and that and that. Earl, you'd have memories. That girl looked like a movie star. She did. Yeah, Brian had sex with her. Yeah. I didn't, but he did. Right. Okay. No, I didn't know. No. I didn't know. I did not. No. I didn't know. Just because I can visualize something because you can visualize it doesn't mean I did it. I have to always explain that to her all the time. No, nothing happened. You're just like the Carrie Ann Moss movie with fucking Alec Baldwin and the girl in the pool house. It did not happen. You can visualize something, especially if Mark Zuckerberg and Meta have audio video of it, and so you can see what they see. Said the night lamb to the little lamb. So if you know somebody, you can visualize, especially if you've been put in compromised situations by the metaverse. Do you understand? So it's no. So nothing happened. No. Okay, you can have seen things like by accidentally walking into the bathroom or seeing something while you're having a conversation with someone while they're laying on a bunk bed, but that doesn't mean anything happened. And I always have to explain that to her. It's like, Amy Sue, you're so cute. She's the dorkiest dork and she's not a pervert. No, she is much less of a pervert than any of the people you guys have elected president ever since your ass has been alive. Well, except for the Kennedys. Kennedys were pretty good. Well, they still cheated on their wives with Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, and so do all of you. I wish I was having sex with Marilyn Monroe instead of my fat wife. Marilyn Monroe doesn't. That's why she didn't have sex with you. Appreciate your quote-unquote fat wife. It's the only way you can live on planet Earth is finding someone that will have sex with you and your horrible personality and your selfishness. Have a nice day. Hi. Yeah, people, I can't believe this guy's the Messiah. And that's why we're not living the Lord's Prayer, asshole. Hey, you signed up for the Patriot Act. Hey, your country's greater than their country. Hey, your money's better than theirs. Hey, your make-believe God's better than their make-believe God and their make-believe money, because money is make-believe. Yeah, and I really do like Conway Twitty, but I prefer Glenn Campbell's version because Glenn's got a better voice. But neither here nor there. People see us everywhere. They think you really queer, but myself I can't deceive. I know it's only make-believe, right? And so everything you've worked hard for your whole life to leave a legacy of greatness through propaganda movies is Glenn Campbell singing Conway Twitty. Twitty, Texas, and Conway, Arkansas. Go Bears, right? Do you understand? Why is the field gray? Because they just think water costs money and they don't want to grow the grass. Football's always better on grass. Just ask Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Ask all the guys that have injuries because of playing on carpet instead of grass that were horrible and you had to rehab for like a year. I don't, did Patrick's happen on grass? The bad injuries happen on grass too. Okay, RFK Stadium, where Theismann's bone popped out of his leg, well, I'm pretty sure was on a grass surface. That's what happens when you have a 260-pound man that can run a 4.40 and grabs a hold of your shoulder pads, and in order to get a bigger paycheck, has to sling you, and then you're trying to stand up, and your body, you set your cleats in, and he pulls, and your cleats say, "Okay, something's got to give." Okay. And it's horrible. Ooh, that's hard to watch, right, Lee Carso? What's a sow cow? You jaded her during college and she could really cook. Okay, go snag that home run over center field. Or is it right field or left field? Don't know. Don't remember. Haven't played that game in a long time. But I will. Oh, they'll make me a new video game out of EA Sports things. Oh, yeah. Because I said so. And they'll have it ready. And they'll start working on it today if they haven't already. Just like I told the Corps of Army Engineers at Fort Bliss to be working on the digital printer of my basketball barn, make it look Adobe, put lots of, if you have like wood, little balcony pillars on the edge around the dance in the basketball court so we can enjoy that, and have it to where it opens up with mesh on the side, to keep the bugs out, but let the air in, and yeah. Hila. You don't do that? I wouldn't want to be you. You'll obey child molesting, mind raping murderers and be sealed in Rockefeller's and Rothschild's hell on a quantum computer somewhere that you can't erase, or you'll stand up for the Messiah and build him a basketball barn and Adobe homes for the people that pray that I want to be around Dad, and I want him to be okay, and I want him to live what he says he thinks we're capable of living. I love Dad. I love you too, Plim. I love you, Plim. I hope my Plim's okay. She gets very depressed. It's very hard on her. Yeah, my Emily. She's one of the sweetest people on the planet, and she's being tortured by the worst perverts in the world. And the man who's supposed to give us all the deliverance of evil from the Lord's Prayer, she calls Dad, because I was there in the hospital when she was born. I don't know if I was there in the bedroom when she was conceived, but that's irrelevant to me. That's like on that fucking Sanford and Son when Lamont's biological shows up. He goes, "You're my dad. I'm not here because I want the junkyard and all that stuff. I'm here because I love you, Dad. And what happened between you and my mom, that's y'all's business, not mine." Right? When Lamont says that. So, you know what I mean? What happens between people that are being abused by the U.S. government and abusers in a bar is none of my business. But what happens to the child that into this world we're thrown, like a dog without a bone and an actor on Riders on the Storm, what happens to the child in the storm is my business. Okay? Even if you take them away and abuse them and incarcerate them and institutionalize them and indoctrinate them with your money and your laws that you signed and made a law on your schoolhouse, Rocky, I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I'm the one that makes sure that Rocky's children get to live in heaven because we're obeying the commands of Jesus Christ. So Yolanda and any of her nieces and nephews get to. Okay? And all her, family. So John Delay and any of her family gets to. All the Rosses. Okay? And all the Armstrongs. And all the Holes and the Fabres. And whatever the biological's name was at the Job Corps in Mississippi, right? I'm the man. I'm the one. Right? It's me. The fuck for the buck stops here. It says so in the Bible. It says so in the Book of Mormon. It says so in the Koran. It says so in that there Torah. Isn't that a Japanese bombing movie? For morons. But it's the name of the Gospels. That was the Bible before they called it the Bible. When they say, hey, they got the Bible. No, it was the Torah. It's called the Torah in Abraham's time. The Bible is documentation named by the Romans, the people that crucified Jesus, with, he signed your bill, now you're a law. Okay? I think you got your fools mixed up. You must think that I'm someone else. But baby, there will be no more. Anybody else like Brenton Wood? I did so. That's one that I think that's my favorite. When I was a kid, my favorite is still one of my I really like. Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my baby, to show me that you're mine, girl. All right. Now I still like that song a lot. I have it on my bed, but I think as I get older, I think You Got Your Fools Mixed Up is my favorite. But I also do like You and Me. Let's get away. I like Brenton Wood. Anybody else like Brenton Wood? I like him. Okay. I really like him. As much as the stylistics, that's kind of tough. Stylistics, wow. Linda Creed wrote a lot of good songs for the stylistics, and Russell is wonderful. Delphonics and Blue Magic, they're also good too. Don't make me choose. I don't have to. I just get a like. Me likey. There's a spark of magic in your eye. Candyland appears each time you smile. Never thought that fairy tales came true, but they come true. When anybody else like Linda Creed? I like Linda Creed too. She's good, isn't she good? You're a genie in disguise, full of wonder and surprise. And I was really cute when I was young. The best basketball player on the planet, and still am. Well, because I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer, and basketball is to keep us healthy and not let us get sick during the wintertime in Massachusetts. Think I'm going back to Massachusetts. Right? Best basketball player ever. Living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. Most healthy basketball player in the history of basketball. Because Jesus didn't play basketball, neither did Muhammad. Basketball was a conception of exercise by a man named Dr. Naismith in Massachusetts. Primero, the life existence of Jesus walking around, Muhammad, so forth, and so there. And Adam, Father Adam. We talked about it when I got him in prayer. So this could be, this isn't really fair. You're like huge. You're a meanie. Shut up, Father Adam. You're a meanie. You large black man. It doesn't, he says it still doesn't matter. He says he could be taller than the basket itself. But if he had to cheat to win, he'd be a horrible basketball player. And little old 6-foot Earl could be better because Earl was raised playing basketball and he wasn't. It'd just be easy for him because he's as big as the basketball goal. Oh, wow, that's a big man. That's a mighty, mighty big man. It was just the dynamic. I'm led to believe that the things they found of Adam and Eve and Lucy, that they doctored those. The Europeans doctored those. They didn't want to be them considered greater. Don't look at girth. Don't look at that. It's just basically the life form that you are in order to adapt and survive the life forms that you're symbiotic with. Okay. If we get smaller by stature, it's because there were more of us and we had to consume less so we could love and live. You can't have many more, not survive, love and live. You can't have any more wives and children than you can lovingly care and provide for. Goliath. Think like Abraham and Muhammad, okay? Think like a man. Don't think like a scientist. They think they're an animal. They're batshit fucking crazy. And I mean that. To the Batcave. There we go. That's a Bat Tuesday, right? Okay. Lady Chatterley's lover, right? I hope Law's doing well, and I want to say it's hard for me to see Law again. I'm still goo-goo over Law. And when we talked on Facebook, I'm still goo-goo over Rocky. So it's hard, I don't like being with one woman and then seeing, that's your former Lady Chatterley's lover. Yeah, I get it. You still want to have sex with her? No, I wasn't that way when I didn't want to have sex with the other when I was with the other. Did I want to have sex with Law? I wasn't with Stephanie when me and Law were flirting when Kay screwed it up. Yeah, I was single, and so was Law. No, Law was with Dexter. I forgot about that. Yeah, she was with a guy. Okay. I was not. I was unattached. But it didn't matter. She broke up with Dexter about 2 weeks later to date a white doctor who got temps and looked to see if he was sexually attracted to him, knew they were gold diggers, had sex with them, and then got rid of them and then replaced them with the next. He was a total creep. Yeah. But she was going to hook up with him. He was a doctor, and he was attractive. He was a white guy. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, he ended up, this is how the Rockefeller Foundation works, picking up a very attractive Mexican temp to take up to Prescott, where he took law 2 weeks before. Yeah. And I went and called Shelly and said, did you know that Law's boyfriend is picking up a hot Mexican girl across the street from my apartments? Well, because this is the New World Disorder, and David Rockefeller knows what he's doing 50 years in advance on the Z Guys movies. That's how you can have the same, use sexy, hot medical temps to use as gold digger sex objects, and have David Rockefeller explain it to Parsons in the 20th century. 20th century before the 21st, right? Yeah, Rockefeller knows what he's doing, right? Well, I shouldn't say he knows. He's aware of what he's doing. Does he know what he's doing? No. They told me in Sierra Vista that, Rockefeller and Rothschild were down with sharing me with the world before we ever had to go through the book of Daniel and Revelation timetables and all that. But all the new texts weren't having it, that they were going to win, that this is all bullshit, that Parsons, he has a selling point, he's a pervert, he thought this and that when that, yeah, who wouldn't think that? I mean, when you're put in a situation where it's like, okay, I'm being sexually abused by the military and I do want sexual comfort, but not this way, because manipulated relationships are not relationships. They're just being manipulated by the Planet of the Apes, and they think I'm Charlton Heston. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and they say that Rockefeller is like the grandfather of Zuckerberg. He couldn't talk his own grandkid out of abusing me with pervert scientists to keep his money and his virtual presence in your wallet in your bedroom. Wow, that must be hard if you sit there and you're like, I don't want you to be like me and your grandpa, John Davison, great grandpa. I want you to be like Parsons. He's better than both of us. And he explains it to him and explains it to him and explains it to him. Wow, that's actually worse than me explaining it to my family and my family being manipulated by his family. Technically it is, Wow. Yeah, makes sense though, doesn't it? Yeah. Do you understand what I'm talking about? If you understand what I'm talking about, you might be intelligent enough to stand up for a Lord's Prayer and stop asking for Rockefeller money and prayer in front of his digital devices that keep you and your money safe. If you're intelligent enough, you'll be like, hey, Lord's Prayer now, I love Earl. Okay. If you're not intelligent enough, you still think you're God and that your God is going to send me to hell in your head and heaven in yours for 30 minutes right after you're dead. It's science. Maybe Andrew Huber will explain it to you why he sells you electric bed and supplements. Okay. I love you. Then they can saw your head off and take out that there clot, and you'll say, so thanks, I'll just die. Okay, and then I'll go to that magic place for 30 minutes. There you go. Thank John Daly. And the George Clooney neurosurgeon nurse. Yeah. If they can rehearse their verse and figure their way out of hell. You can fix the brain with surgery to stop it from dying, but it doesn't make the brain work function properly. So you're not being, you want the emotions at Disneyland, right? Okay, I love you. Peace out, man.